We come here on this day, and I heard on the news just yesterday that a national leader went to Florida and was talking about, are we truly free if every person can't make a choice for an abortion? Are we truly free? And it got me thinking, well, what is freedom? What does it mean to be free? Is freedom that each of us can do whatever we desire at any moment? Is that what it means to be truly free? Well, if that's the case, your freedom at some point will impinge on my freedom. Because if you think you should be free to do whatever you want, then at some point I'm going to want to do something that you're stopping me from doing. That can't be freedom. What does freedom mean? Well, St. Paul tells us that freedom isn't that type of freedom to just do whatever we want, but the freedom to live in the love and in the life of Christ. And we all know this. When we sin, we don't feel free. We feel actually caged in by that sin. And when we confess that sin and we can live without it, under the grace of God, I always feel free. That's what true freedom is. So there has to be some limits on freedom. And those limits and those parameters are set by our God. And so today we come here asking for the protection of the unborn. Not that the law guarantees this, because God already has. God guarantees that dignity of every human life. And that is something that does not stop when the law says that's not true. That comes from Him, the one who created us, the one who guaranteed that no matter our color or our creed, we have a right to live and a right to life and prosperity and freedom because He created us, not because of any limits we set on it. And so the civil rights movement depends on the justice of God, comes from that, not on laws of man. But any person has that right. Not because I say so, not because a Supreme Court says so, not because a law says so, not because a president says so, but because God says so. And so, brothers and sisters, we come here today asking for freedom for the unborn. And sometimes that may ask of us, just like any law does, it may ask of us to put limits on our freedom, or what we might think as freedom, everything we want to do. It doesn't take away our joy, it actually gives us joy and peace when we live within the freedom of God and not the complete freedom of man, which leads to lawlessness and everything else. And so today we come and we ask for the protection for the unborn. This is a crazy time in our country. People are at each other in every different way. Our debate when it comes to this should not add to that. We are for life. And so as we debate these things, and as we show in our lives our love for freedom for life, we should not add to the craziness, but add to the law and the justice of God, and show the world that He guarantees life by the way in which we live and the way in which we love, so that one day all hearts may turn towards the love of life for the unborn and for mothers and for families, so that freedom for all may be guaranteed and not just for some. Praise be Jesus Christ, King of the universe, now and forever. Please stand.